You the procedure for antifreezing the unit. Okay, and it's important to watch this carefully and see the different valves that we're going to operate. The first thing we have to do is drain the main water tank. Okay, we've already drained this, but you can see the valve down the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to zero in on it. Okay, that's the valve, the drain valve. Secondly, we're going to now shut the valve and shut the valve from the tank. Okay, very important to do this without the engine running. We're not going to start the engine till later on. Now we're going to open the antifreeze valve, okay, and take the cap off. It's very important you take the cap off before you start the engine. Open the antifreeze valve and you can attempt to bleed the pump. The antifreeze solution should be a mixture of 50% antifreeze, 50% water. Okay, the antifreeze is draining, see it coming up into the pump. And you can see it now coming out. Okay, now we're going to go to the rear of the unit and show you what needs to be done there. Right, we're at the rear of the unit and we've disconnected the hose, the high pressure hose. Now before we start the engine, it is very important to put the selector valve in the high pressure mode, okay, and make sure you have no nozzle on the end of the hose. Okay, now it is safe to start the engine and we're going to pump out the water until the antifreeze comes. Okay, so this is all the regular water we're going to get rid of that's been in the hose. Watch it till the antifreeze comes out. Okay, we now have antifreeze coming out of the hose, okay, and it's advisable to either have a bucket or something to put it into, and if you don't have a bucket, make sure you wash it down thoroughly. Okay, now we connect the high pressure hose to the return to antifreeze tank line. Now at the moment we've antifreezed the hose, but we've also got to antifreeze the pulsation valve, okay, and we can do that by quickly cracking the valve.
I did that while I was...
Okay, and now we're going to go to the front of the unit and just make sure that the valves are all antifreezed at the front. Now you can see that we've got antifreeze in the system here. The only bit that isn't antifreezed is the valve coming from the tank. So we're going to just crack that a little bit to allow some antifreeze to go back and make sure that that valve is now got some antifreeze in it so it won't crack in very cold weather. Okay, basically we're completely antifreeze now, and all we have to do is in the morning put the antifreeze back in the holding tank, and we're going to show you how to do that now. Okay, now we're going to show you how to get the antifreeze back into the antifreeze tank and get ready to go to work. So you've got some water in the main water tank now. It's important to shut the antifreeze valve and open the valve to the pump. Okay, very important also to take the cap off the top of the antifreeze tank, otherwise you're liable to blow it up. So remove the cap so it can breathe. Now we're going to go to the other end of the unit and start there. Okay, now we're at the real end of the machine. Very important before you turn the engine on to make sure that that selector valve is in the high pressure mode. Okay, it's in the high pressure mode. The reel is attached to the return to antifreeze tank line. which is over that side. And now we're ready to start the engine and pump the antifreeze back into the holding tank. Now we're going to go and see that the tank is filling up. Okay, as you can see, we've refilled the antifreeze tank. Now we can put the lid on the antifreeze tank, and you can start operating the machine normally. Okay, you'll notice that the plumbing is all clear of antifreeze, and so now you can just go and start jetting in the normal way. Once in a while you need to check the strength of your antifreeze, because obviously it's going to get diluted every time you do this. It gets diluted slightly, so it's important to check the strength to make sure it's suitable for your environment. If you have any questions, you can call us at 1-800-538-8464.